Hey gamers, Micros here, and today I'm going to bring you a quick update about what's going on in the Black Desert community. There's been many things going on in the Black Desert community, and as you guys already know, the game's been out for the NA and EU version for about 2 months now, and within the first month, they already gave us a major update of Media, or Medea? I heard many different pronunciations, so correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. I really don't care. Either way, we already have a major content release. Not to mention, a week or two following that release, we've been introduced to the Blader class. I, for one, am not probably going to main a Blader, but I am thankful because it can quell the angry mobs on the forums crying about when the Blader is coming every single maintenance. Like, the hamsters can only do so much, guys. But hopefully that will, quell some of the raging flames on the forums and just lessen the crying at least a little bit, because if anyone visiting the forums were to come for the first time, they'll be pretty shocked at the level of the level of rage on the forums. I mean, this is my first game playing with this amount of non-constructive criticism just running rabid on the forums. So hopefully this release will cut down on the amount of rage, at least for the Blader portion of the forums. I mean, honestly, I'm looking to main Ninja, so I'm not necessarily upset that Ninja isn't here yet. I'm not worried about falling behind. I don't know, I'm honestly just like thinking to myself, make as much money as freaking possible, so when my Ninja comes, I can buy as much stuff to make the transition as easy as possible for myself. So I'm not in any rush. I want to make at least 400 or 500 million in silver stacked up. Buy the ogre ring for 80 million. I'd rather in this game. I'm pretty sick of RNG, so I'm buying my way to happiness. I'm not grinding it. I don't really have that much time on my hands to begin with. But let's get back onto the Blader topic. All right, so the Blader is a mixed range and melee class. I'll put it on the melee side heavier. It does have some archery features to it, but it is still primary melee. It has very fast sword swings, high mobility. I would say decent damage. It's not a hard hitter, it's more of a comboer. So when I say hard hitter, that it can, from what I hear, it can do a lot of damage in the end game, but it's not like a damage per hit. It's more of a accumulated burst damage, so damage per second, not per hit. As the warrior counterpart is more of a damage each hit. It feels like a haymaker, so to speak. But for Bladers, it's more of going to be a who can combo the best and who's best at waiting out the enemies and finding the most optimum time to strike. With that being said, the Blader has been out for about, I'd say, a week now, at least in this recording, and sad to say, there's already something wrong. Apparently, those, animals who are able to hit like level 53, level 54 already with their Bladers and have very high tier equipment are noticing this issue with the Blader, which comes with, which pertains to their AP and DP values. And as I go into detail, let me just explain that the attack points and defense points, to those who don't play the game, it's pretty much simple. AP represents their damage output, which scales off with their skills percentages, and DP represents their damage, defense points, which mitigates how much damage they take. I think there's correlation with AP and accuracy and the correlation between DP and evasion, but there's no tangible numbers, which annoys the crap out of me. And I'll have a rant about this in another video, but I'll save it for another video. Anyway, the issue with the Blader, DP and AP, is that players have tested with the same gear they would have on their, let's say, a wizard or a witch. They would switch and put it on their Blader, and their Blader will be significantly more squishy. For example, a guy's testimony on the forum was that he would put 160 DP gear set on his Blader, and he'll pretty much be getting two-shotted by mobs that are in his level range, or maybe a little bit higher. Nonetheless, once he puts that same gear set onto his wizard, which by far should be the squishiest class in the game, he can tank 3 to 4 more hits, which obviously doesn't make any sense. As well as the AP, I'm not sure exactly how severe the AP issue is. People are saying the damage isn't scaling properly for the blader, meaning that most of the skills at high end, their damage, aren't scaling to the point that you can deal decent damage. So not only are you going to be running an uphill battle for tanking, you're also going to be running uphill battle for generally grinding right now. I think it's, even though there's no actual raw numbers for us to tell, it's blatant enough for us to be concerned. Well, according to the Korean version, they also have this issue with the blader being significantly squishy, not being able to take many hits, even with high-end gear and like DP scaling the charts for the meta of the current content, you know? So it's really strange and concerning. Hopefully, I didn't get more details from the person who was talking about a friend in Korea having a very squishy blader, but at least from the PvP videos I've seen with bladers, it didn't seem like they're getting 2-shotted or 3-shotted with decent gear. So I'm pretty sure that issue is no longer existent in the Korean version. But if it did happen at one point, most likely it will probably be patched over for the NA and EU version. So what does this mean for you guys? So you guys who are thinking about or who are currently leveling up a blader, I would recommend you guys still go for it. You might have to play a bit more careful than other classes, but I really don't think it's to the point that it's unplayable. Sad to say though, PKers will probably drive you damn near insane if the mobs are one-shotting you. I'm pretty sure the PKers will be one-shotting you, even if they have a bit less gear than you. But besides the point, if you truly love the class, I think the sooner you can play it, the better. Get practice. Just think of this as a challenge to help you improve your gameplay as a class. The don't get hit by the mob challenge, or you pretty much explode. But once this is fixed, the players who did get used to playing at a higher speed and a higher tier will let this disadvantage become an advantage by forcing them to get good, so to speak. Hopefully this will be fixed as soon as possible. I'll probably relay any updates on my Twitter or my Facebook if I get any news of what's to happen with this whole AP-DP issue. Also, I wanted to mention another issue that's been going around in the community about the blader and plum, is that there's an iframe issue when it comes to his dash skill. Apparently only one dash skill will have the immunity frame buff to it, and that buff will be a 4-second cooldown before the next dash will contain the immunity frame. Though I haven't tested it in action myself, and I can't really tell, this may be a big deal to you before if you're thinking about trying the blader. Me, I don't think it's that big of a deal, because unlike other heavily iframe reliant classes, bladers also have a block. But, this class wouldn't want to be stationary for too long, but if it provides just a moment of what's the word? If it just covers an opening in combat just momentarily, I think it's still better than nothing, just being completely iframe reliant. But I'm not sure if they have any plans on changing the whole lack of dash iframes, but even if your dash isn't an iframe, the sheer mobility of the class is still nothing to joke with, you know? So even if your dashes isn't immunity during the animation, it's still a pretty good class, and the dodging is pretty spot on. Not to mention you have the endurance to dash continuously. My final thoughts on the blader is pretty much, I put the pros and cons in, but you know, if it's your class, play it. That's all I have to say about it. Just know what you're getting yourself into and know what to expect. So none of these issues I believe are permanent. And the iframe thing I hear is pretty much to supplement the Blader's Awakening, which I've heard is going to have a lot of iframe moves. And with that being said, maybe that's their way of offsetting the high immunity frames that the Awakening has by giving the regular form of the Blader less immunity frames. But that's something you guys can open up for discussion in the comments. I personally don't have much of a strong opinion as to whether something is good or bad, right or wrong. This, to me, is too early in the game to write a class off as needing a buff or a nerf, because we're all honestly just playing incomplete versions of all our classes right now. So we don't know what the the final form is. I'll be posting another video. Just give you a channel update. I've been really slacking, to be honest. I need to get more videos going more consistently. Right now I'm learning Hit Film Express 3, I think it's called, and I'm playing with the software. I'm trying to get a routine on how I'm going to edit my videos and get better at upgrading the quality of my videos. So yeah, please bear with me. If you guys would, please follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and leave any questions in the comment box below. Also, any suggestions for audio editing software. Like, I know Audacity, but if you guys have any other ones that might be easier, or the interface is very user friendly or for beginners, please leave some recommendations below. Also, nothing that's too expensive. I am broke as a joke. Yes, keep that in mind. Thanks guys, see you next time.
Yes sir, this is life and it gets worse. So blessed cause I put in work at the right time, brother, cause they listen to my whole set. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, I rap the beat. Rap skills something like the best physique. And everything's gonna work out, so I tell the naysayers they can all go rest in peace. My recipe to success feels like destiny and love met when my album drops.